I think for me, it's as simple as shutting my laptop at 6 p.m. by choice. Hi, guys, welcome to another episode of Sip Happens. I'm Ishita,
I'm Aditi.
I'm Priyanshi.
and in this episode of Sip Happens, we'll discuss about contentment. And all of us, one day, were discussing how contentment is an artificial luxury. So let's dive deep into this conversation of contentment, ambitions, and chasing goal like our generation does. So, guys, what is contentment for you? What makes you feel contented?
So, guys, for me, contentment is more like a feeling that I have to be present in the moment. Like sometimes it can be as small as sipping a cup of tea or watching my favorite movie or series or being with the right people, my friends. I mean, it may not be forever, but when it's there, it makes me feel complete.
What's
For me, contentment basically is the ability to feel fulfilled with what one has. And it's not passivity or lack of ambition, but it is a deep sense of balance between our needs and our desires.
I think for me, it's as simple as shutting my laptop at 6 p.m. by choice, honestly, at this point. But in general, what do you guys think? Like the hustle culture and everything that's prevalent in today's generation, do you think it's low key glorified?
I mean,
Yes. I,
honestly, I do feel that hustle culture glorifies burnout because it's like if you're not constantly working or busy, people will start assuming that you're not ambitious. But I think that's not the case. We should not equate success with being busy or like being stressed out because for me, in my personal opinion, ambition and contentment, they can go side by side given that we do not judge ourselves by how busy we are. So it is like I can you can want more and still be at peace with what you're already having.
Yeah,
Success
right.
for me is more directional than being exhausting.
yeah,
So, like for me, ambition is basically about growth, but contentment is about peace where we are in the journey. Like we can absolutely have both like ambition and contentment at the same time. In fact, I think the healthiest kind of ambition is one that's rooted in contentment, where we are striving because we love the process, not because we are insecure or constantly comparing ourselves. And like taking the example of Virat Kohli also, like he is insanely ambitious on the field, but also how he talks about mindfulness, discipline, and being content in his personal life. So yeah, I think so we can balance both.
yeah. I feel that too because I feel that, one should be contented in success and failure both. The moment we start attaching our happiness to our achievements is the time we lose our self worth. And I think that's the problem in today's generation because we feel our achievement make us the person we are. So even if we achieve everything, I feel we won't be contented. Of course, we will be happy for a second or two, but as the moment passes, deep down all of us are restless. Also, guys, do you think that luxury today is not about comfort, but it's about showing people that you made it? Do you think that social media has made us choose lifestyle over life?
I mean, yes, there was a time when luxury meant good food, a cozy home, maybe a beautiful relationship, and at the end of the day, you get a peaceful sleep. But now I feel social media has made us chase lifestyle more than the life, as you said it, Ishita. And it feels like we are living in the picture rather than the moment. As this is
Yeah.
saying that you should always live in the moment. But I feel like when we started chasing the aesthetics, we have lost track of happiness. All we care is about how we perceive ourselves on social media and how we can constantly like compare with people and improve ourselves in better ways.
So frankly, when it comes to social media nowadays, people are like constantly showing off like luxury brands, cars, trips, but literally mental health data shows that high anxiety, depression, and comparison stress exist, and it's like we are drowning in luxury but starving for peace at the same time.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's like you are rich
Hmm.
because you are able to afford all those things, the luxury things, but at the end, you're still poor inside yourself. So it's more like you go outside with your friends, the first thing people go do is capture pictures. People capture the pictures of the food instead of enjoying that food. Now, I'm not saying that's wrong. Of course, you should keep things for your memories, but you should not entirely indulge yourself in showing off to people that, okay, you are doing this, you are doing that. I mean, I think deep down, if you feel stressed, deep down, if you feel, restless in spite of doing all these things, then your life is not worth it, because even after all the money that you have, you don't have the simplest happiness, which is so easy to achieve. Then it's useless.
Like I have seen people who have been on trips and if they're not getting good pictures, they'll be pissed. Like क्योंकि फोटो नहीं मिली सोशल मीडिया पे अपलोड करने के लिए. So that in itself shows how people are like just behind showing off and everything rather than actually enjoying the moment.
I know. I
If
would.
you, rather than social media being a part of life, it's like we are a part of social media now. Like the opposite has happened.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I wouldn't sugarcoat it. For the longest time, I used to get pissed off because I did not get that perfect picture. I mean, I still
True.
do at times if I've put so much effort in getting dressed up, but that now doesn't affect me so much. Oh my God, I don't have a picture, because of late I realized, if I try to seek happiness in all these external factors, I can never feel fulfilled, and it's nothing.
So, guys, have you ever had a moment in your life where everything looked perfect from the outside, but somehow deep down you did not felt content, or you felt kind of disconnected? Like,
I think I have these moments all the time, because anytime, if I want a luxury item, I save for it, I get it. But once I have it, I'm like, I don't feel any different. Like for like a second or two, I'm excited. But at the end, 3 hours or 4 hours down the line, I'm again sad. So that made me realize that all these external luxury things don't give you actual sense of happiness.
So yeah, I
what
felt
about
that
you,
like
Aarti?
so yeah, according to me, there's not just one any moment in particular. Frankly, it happens most of the days. Ki, suppose if I'm at a party, like also having fun, I went to a club or I'm partying with my friends, smiling, dancing, doing all the things that basically look like fun, but inside sometimes it's just so drained. And we are there because it's expected us to be there, or because we don't want to be seen as boring, and but not because we actually want to be there. So I think so it happens like yeah, always.
Question: does it not count as people pleasing?
Yeah, so people pleasing doesn't make you feel contented. We discussed it already two
Yeah,
episodes ago.
yeah.
Guys, go
Go.
watch our episode.
Yes, go watch.
And as for me, I've had my moments like bars, everything looked so rosy and perfect, and people think that I have it all figured out. But sometimes you have this feeling of like hollowness or shallow feeling where you actually don't know what is wrong. I mean, you don't know what is giving the sadness to you. It's like because technically nothing is wrong with you, but you're not just content with what you have. And I mean, it took time for me, but then I figured out like I true fulfillment should be when you're able to show on the outside what you're feeling on the inside. When these two things will match, and that for me will be like true fulfillment. Like I'll have to question myself: am I living the way that I want to, or am I living in a way that looks good to others? So for me, it's that. Okay, guys. So I have a question for you all. Like, what would the world look like if there were no hustle culture?
Good question. I think there would be no 5 a.m. clubs and I would be napping all the time, honestly. I mean, I feel most of the things that people do today are just to fit in. So it's like if we don't do it, we think that we are a failure. So if there was this no hustle culture, I don't think people would have been less ambitious, but I think they would have given more priority, or maybe an equal priority to their happiness, and for that matter, their mental peace.
Frankly, if hustle culture had never taken off, I think a lot more people would feel okay just being where they are instead of constantly feeling like they need to be doing more, earning more, proving something. And you also wouldn't see as many people burning out in their 20s or tying their entire sense of worth to how productive they were that week.
Yeah,
So people might feel more content by just living, like just waking up, doing good work, spending time with people they care about, and not needing to constantly be grinding to feel valid. And also maybe the world might move a little slower, but honestly, I don't think so. That's a bad thing. Like,
I think
I
the
don't know how we romanticize like being exhausted nowadays. Why? Like being contentment only comes after you have earned it. But maybe if hustle culture never existed, we'd realize we are allowed to feel content just because we are alive, not because we have crossed some invisible finish line which exists in our head. Ki, हाँ, वो करना है.
yeah, and I think the LinkedIn would have been a quiet place.
True, true, true,
Imagine
so true.
peace when there's no LinkedIn post, people telling you they became a CEO. And I think, what's worst is, imagine you become a CEO and you are crying in your Tesla. Like, I mean, you have the Tesla, you are the CEO. I mean, most of the people want to achieve that, but you're still crying. And I'll tell you, I have had this conversation with like law firm partners and like here and there from like VPs and everybody, and most of them are divorced. And wonder why. It's very simple because they are so much into chasing success,
Hmm.
money, and everything that they lose the most meaningful things of their life, the
And
girlfriend,
the
their
precious
wife, the
people they
children.
have.
And I don't think there is any life after that. I mean, you have millions and millions of dollars in your account and you have no family. How does it make sense?
True.
There was this speech by Sudha Murthy's husband, and where he said that people should work at least 70 hours a day. And you put it on one side, and then you see the work culture in Japan, where people are allowed to take a 1 or 2 hour nap in between their work. So I think if there would have been no hustle culture, taking a rest would not be equated as you're lazy, you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, that would have been like, okay, it would have been seen as a fuel. कि matlab, you would not be constantly hijacked by the question of what's next, what to do next, what more to achieve. So I think that would have been like more contentment from within.
Yeah, I think, if we look at success like a quantity of achievements, I think you always keep on thinking about what next. And I think that next you're never gonna arrive. So one day you have something, next day you look at someone, you're like, I want to do this. So I think that inexhaustive list can never make you feel contented because you're doing it out of desperation. And I'll tell you what, most stupid thing, and because we are also a victim of that. So there is a most simplest question in law firm applications in the UK, and they ask you, why do you want to be a lawyer? And for the longest time, when I used to read that question, I didn't know the answer to that. And I was like, this question is so tough. And you know what that made me realize, and that gave me a lesson, that most of the things that we do in our lives, we don't know why we are doing it. We just keep on doing it, just follow the trends. But deep down, we don't know why we are doing it. And I think that is the problem. So everything we do, there should be an answer why we are doing it.
Hmm.
If it is out of passion, of course. If it is out of dreams, of course. But just to show off on the internet, oh, I am no less than you, I have that, I have done this, is something that is very problematic and makes contentment more radical, I feel.
I
True. I
mean,
think
yeah,
for
continue.
70 hours work culture, as he said, there can be two POVs on the same. Ek to, firstly, when we are working for somebody else, then definitely people wouldn't like that statement that why should we work 70 hours per day? We need some rest and work-life balance hona chahiye. But according to me, when you are working on something which is your passion, which is your dream job, dream company, and you want to build that. So you cannot be like resting and thinking ki I'll have that work-life balance and at the same time you can build your dream. No. Then I think so. Then hustle is required because, but then also it should be backed by passion. It's not something wherein you can work for other people and be happy and content at the same time. But when it comes to your own self and you know that that thing will provide you happiness, then you will instead do it for your own self and you'll be fine with it.
You know,
Yeah, like
that's the point. Yeah. Sorry.
Socrates said this, he who is not content with what he has will never be content with what he would like to have.
Hmm, true.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of spiritual verses tell you that happiness is very simple. Like, for example, for us, the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, somebody who is happy in both success and failure has achieved true freedom. So I think that's about it. I mean, of course, your ambitions, your goals, your dreams, and contentment can coexist. But if the moment you start attaching that to your self worth, your status symbol, that is when its meaning entirely changes.
Okay, guys. So why do we call contentment natural wealth? Like, what are your opinion on the same?
I think I think it's like because that stays inside you and stays with you forever, like regardless of anything. Like maybe today you don't have a job. Of course, you will not be
Mm-hmm.
happy about it, but you will not lose your calm. For that matter, even if you have a lot of money, you'll stay grounded. So I think it's more about that, that something exists inside you that keeps you grounded, that keeps you at peace regardless of the external factors around you.
Yeah, I also feel like we call contentment as natural wealth because it does not depend on the worldly factors like possessions or money or maybe someone's validation. It comes from within, and unlike these worldly pleasures, which are not stable, आज है कल नहीं है. But I think contentment is stable. अगर you have that feeling, and I think it is more about the ability to feel satisfied with what we have rather than chasing something. And also, in short, like materialistic things fill our hands, but contentment fills our heart. And
Mm,
maybe that's why it is called natural wealth.
yeah, I think, if I have to say it in other terms, it would be like a stock that never crashes. So your algorithm will change. You may fail one day. You might have less money. You might have not have all the luxury, but deep down you will be at peace.
So here we'd like to conclude a podcast. And at the end of the day, I'd like to say that contentment isn't about giving up on ambition. It's about not letting ambition steal your peace. And so luxury might impress others, but contentment will sustain you. So choose wisely.
Yeah. So the
Yeah.
moral of this entire episode is guys, do things, chase ambitions, but don't do it out of desperation. Always know why you are doing what you are doing. So with this we conclude our episode. Do like, share, and subscribe. And please, please leave comments. It's too much deep thinking that we need to do to make one episode. So, guys, please. Okay, bye.
Bye,
Take
guys.
care.
Have fun. Take care. All love.